Charles Bennett, or Charlie Brown, was born on March 12, 1906, in Douglas County, Missouri. He was the first of 6 children born to Byron, or By Brown, and his wife, Fanny Crow Brown. At the time of his birth, his father was 22 and his mother just 20. Charlie's roots reach deep into the county's history. Like the other Browns buried here, he was a descendant of Thomas Brown, his great-grandfather. Thomas is remembered for preaching in what would come to be called Brown's Cave, choosing to deliver his sermons beneath its stone walls instead of within a traditional church. Because his life was so short, Charlie appeared on only one census record. In 1910, at 4 years old, he was listed alongside his younger brother, Vassal Clifton. That's the first time I've come across that name in research. The family was still in Douglas County then. By was working as a farmer, while Fanny managed the household and cared for the children. Charlie lived for less than a year after that census was taken. On July 19, 1911, he died at the age of 5. His death certificate listed the cause as malarial fever, an illness spread by mosquitoes. At that time, no reliable cure existed. Effective treatments for malaria would not be developed until the 1930s and 1940s, decades later. His record also noted Charlie had a weak heart, which likely contributed to his passing. Charlie was buried in Yates Cemetery in Douglas County, Missouri. In the years after Charlie's death, the Brown family moved often. By 1930, they were living in Taney County, Missouri, where By was working as a team contractor on road construction. 4 more children had joined the family: Lyle Patrick, Lily Celeste, Jessie Vivian, and Medissa Maxine. Also living in the household were Fanny's mother and 2 lodgers, Wayne and Otto, who both paid By for room and board. Tragedy struck the family again in 1939 when Charlie's brother Vassal died at the age of 31. He passed away in the hospital from typhoid fever, leaving behind a wife and a 7-year-old daughter. He was buried in Mount Tabor Cemetery in Douglas County, Missouri. By 1940, By and Fanny had returned to Douglas County and resumed farming. 4 years later, in 1944, they suffered yet another loss when their home was destroyed by fire. Fortunately, the Browns and the 2 children living with them were at church when the fire broke out, but the house and its contents were reduced to ashes. The newspaper reported that $50 in cash, worth about $917 today, was lost, along with $75 in government bonds. By 1950, By and Fanny had settled in Ava, Missouri as empty nesters. By had retired from both farming and construction, recording in the census that he was no longer able to work. In 1958, he passed away at the age of 74 in a hospital in Rolla, Missouri. His obituary noted that his home remained in Ava, and he had traveled to Rolla to receive treatments for several months, though it didn't specify the nature of his illness. Fanny lived until 1969, passing away at the age of 83 in the same hospital where By had passed. Fanny and By were laid to rest beside their firstborn son, Charlie, in Yates Cemetery. Charlie's gravestone has a single word at its top: son. My family tree showed that Charlie is my 8th cousin, once removed. Thank you for watching. Rest in peace, Charlie.